let's focus back on football. Indianapolis Colts. Start with the most obvious addition to this team. How does Carson Wentz change this offense compared to Philip Rivers last year? And could Wentz be a top 12 quarterback again?
I want to hear what Q has to say about this.
Well, we might have to save Q for his bold take here.
No, I could
give us a little sneak peek.
Definitely going to be top 12. He's definitely. Second best O-line.
Would you put the house on it?
It's not my house, but I'll put it on it. Top tier running back, backfield, the combo that they have. He's more agile than Rivers, and Rivers took them to the playoffs. He only finished 2 spots under Rivers in 2020. Rivers finished QB 20, he finished 22. That doesn't say much.
Pretty ugly.
But we saw what Carson did in 2017. He finished QB 5 with a healthy offensive line, and then in 2019, after the ACL and all that season when Foles left, he was QB 9. So as long as he has some sort of stable offensive line, he can make it work. Definitely top 12. Definitely better than what Philip Rivers did last year, taking him to the playoffs, probably farther.
I think Wentz gives this offense a big boost, actually, because, we saw Philip Rivers kind of hurt the value of T.Y. Hilton last year because he's just a dump-off king. And Carson Wentz likes to say air the ball out. So I think that helps all the receivers and even that running game because Carson, if he has to, he can be mobile. I pray that he's not because I don't want to see him get hurt again. But I think he brings a great deal of positivity to this.
I'm going to say he gives them a little bit of a boost. I think it changes a little bit. I think they air the ball out a little bit more. But I think they're still a run-first team at heart. And I think Jonathan Taylor, Nyheim Hines, those guys are going to thrive, especially with Wentz being able to give them a little bit more cushion, a little bit better of a passing game compared to Philip Rivers last year on his last legs. But they're still have a really good defense. So I don't think they're going to be down too many games where they're down a lot, but they're going to have to throw a ton. So I think they're going to be a very competitive team. They'll probably make the playoffs again with Carson Wentz. But I think they're still going to be more of a run-first mindset. So I don't think it changes too much, but I do think he does elevate the passing game a little bit.
I will say quickly, as much as I love Wentz, he's not the best quarterback in this division. And that's only because of what the other quarterback has around him.
That's the only reason?
That's the only reason.
Pretty much. I don't really like the Colts wide receivers as much as the next. I might, if I take the Eagles wide receivers possibly over the Colts wide receivers.
I don't think so.
Yeah, probably
it's close though.
You're reaching, dude.
Maybe like entire receiving core if you.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Ends. But I'm talking just receivers. That's close. Let's move into some receiver talk though. Which wide receiver do you prefer on this team based on where they're currently being drafted? So we got Michael Pittman currently going as wide receiver 42. T.Y. Hilton going wide receiver 54, and Paris Campbell's going wide receiver 69, pretty much almost undrafted or like very last round of a 12-team league.
That T.Y. Hilton on the discount.
Easily on the discount. I'll talk about
him
a lot later.
But he just deserved the discount after what we saw last year.
Listen, it wasn't him. Like I said, Phil just doesn't throw the ball like that. That weird little side. He doesn't have like the agility that Carson Wentz has to throw the ball down the field. Chris, do you understand?
Like him too.
I'm trying to.
Dadgum.
T.Y. also had a better season last year than who's the other guy? Pittman?
Pittman, yes. Pittman was banged up a little bit as well. I don't know how many games he missed. Maybe only 1 or 2. But
well, Pittman didn't really excel when Campbell and T.Y. were out. So I guess that's like a negative, but I'm still taking Pittman as the best.
And T.Y. still led the team.
Why are you still taking him as the best? He didn't.
Or receptions.
All right, it's fine. It's fine.
No, I hear you. I definitely. I think I'd probably take Pittman. I just want to see which T.Y. Hilton we get. Do we get early season T.Y. Hilton where he was struggling to get separation, or do we get late season T.Y. Hilton where he actually started to turn up and was a really solid flex option last year, late in the season? If we get that T.Y. Hilton again, you're getting him at a huge discount at wide receiver 54.
I want to believe in T.Y.
I like Paris Campbell, but I really can't trust him until I see him healthy again. He's definitely worth a dart throw, but
he played 9 games.
That he's the best
in the last 2 seasons.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I can't argue him as the best, no doubt. I think Pittman and Hilton are both going pretty low to a point where you're grabbing them as your wide receiver 4 or 5. So they're both worth a shot, especially with a new quarterback who can also air the ball out. Next question. Does Nyheim Hines carve out another startable role this year? And if so, is he being underdrafted at RB 41, 115th overall?
I say it depends on one thing. If Marlon Mack returns or not. Because if Marlon Mack comes back, then it kind of like scrambles up that whole backfield. But if it's just him and Jonathan Taylor as the 1-2 punch, yeah, I love Nyheim Hines.
Yeah, so Hines is the receiving back, you'd say?
Yeah.
Sure.
We saw Wentz be successful with Clement and Sproles. I don't think so. He does like to pass out of the backfield. I think he will be. I think he'll be on the field more than Marlon Mack.
I agree.
Yeah.
I think Marlon Mack is the odd man out.
Yeah,
I agree. I'm
unfortunately,
just scared of.
And I think it
Mack
has to
getting
do with the
some,
injury. I think
touches.
the injury is what's gonna keep him off the field, or like not
Yeah.
as be on as much.
Achilles injuries are tough to come back from, so we'll see
KD
how that
did it.
goes. Who did?
KD.
He didn't
KD.
tear his Achilles, or he tore his ACL, didn't he?
Swore it was his Achilles.
I think it was his ACL tear, which is somehow easier to come back from. Arian Foster ruptured his Achilles and was never the same again. But also he was super old at that point. So there's not a big, I guess, sample size of guys that have torn their Achilles and then they were all at the end of their career when it happens anyways, most of the time. So we'll see what Marlon Mack can do. We'll see what Cam Akers can do next year too. But yeah, Nyheim Hines was RB 15 last year. I think he could easily be around a low end RB 2 as like the pass catching back from Wentz in this offense. And you're getting him at a huge discount. So grab him there for sure. All right. Last question. Where are you drafting Jonathan Taylor? His current ADP is RB6, 6th overall.
If he's not drafted in the first, I don't know
Yeah.
what's going on.
He's
He
a guarantee.
Needs
Should
to
be a first round guy.
pick.
I would definitely agree. I think
Especially
I have him
in
a little
standard
bit lower
leagues.
than 6 though.
I
I
think
think I would take him
right after
at, like-
Saquon, right before Chubb.
Ooh, you're taking him over Chubb?
Yes.
I may
don't
take him
think
over
I-
Saquon because Saquon's being a little sus with the way he's like responding to these questions about being ready to come back. He's not going to be 100%.
Yeah, Saquon has been making me a little nervous. Yeah, I got him at like 8 here, right below Nick Chubb. So right in kind of the same area. Definitely a RB1, mid RB1.
There were periods last season too where we were like, I remember questioning Jonathan Taylor. Like he had a couple off weeks, but then from week 13 on, he was RB3, I believe. No, best running back, RB1 from week 13 to the end of the season.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor obviously has a sky high ceiling. So if you're grabbing him, he has a lot of upside, especially in Dynasty. But let's get into some cap or no cap. So we were talking about the wide receivers earlier. Cap or no cap, all of the wide receivers on this team are being underdrafted, with Pittman starting at wide receiver 42.
No
We'll
cap.
say
No cap.
I want to say cap because I think they'll perform a lot better with Wentz. So you could be getting a steal, as we said. Like if Ty's regular Ty and the rest of the guys can stay healthy, they'll definitely have better seasons than a better season than when Philip Rivers was thrown to them.
Yeah, so you're saying that they are being underdrafted, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you're saying no cap.
Yeah, no.
Yeah,
cap,
whatever.
No cap.
You're saying
Um,
cap no.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say cap. I think they're kind of where like they should be being drafted with the risk that's baked into them a little bit.
And wide receiver is so deep. So I mean,
Yeah,
like I'm
super
sure
deep.
there's other options out there that could fill in a roster spot better than these.
Yeah, it's hard to kind of move them up any higher than they already are, but they obviously all have their own upside, no doubt.
Right.
I agree.
It's hard to move Ty into the top 50.
Now, Ty, I think I don't know where I have him, dude. I haven't ranked that low in a while. I have Ty at 55. You could probably easily make the argument for him to climb up, but there's some guys down there as well that are young that have upside as well. Like I have Darnell Mooney over him. Jalen Rager might be a little bit of a reach.
Stop. Even I'll
but-
take Ty over that.
I think Darnell Mooney is super interesting, and I have him
Yeah.
at like 51.
I love Darnell.
But we shall see. Ty obviously still has upside as long as he can still get separation on that offense. Cap or no cap, Matt, you kind of already hinted at this one. Marlon Mack will still have a decent role on this team and will hurt Jonathan Taylor's stock.
Not
You said you were
Jonathan
afraid of
Taylor
it?
stock.
But
Or
yeah, I'm
Nyheim
gonna
Hines.
say cap as well with you.
Easy cap. Easy
Cap,
cap.
cap, cap.
Jonathan Taylor's too good, dude.
Yeah.
It's too good.
Ain't nobody taking his touches.
I think Marlon Mack ends up getting traded somehow to another team that needs a running back spot. I think like there's just no role for him right now on that team, unless it's just like a change of pace, a couple of carries a game back. And I think he has the talent to be more than that if he's fully healthy.
Yeah.
Last cap or no cap here. This will finally be the year that Jack Doyle bounces back with Carson Wentz and finishes as a top 15 tight end.
Yeah.
Unless they trade for Ertz, but since it sounds like Ertz is staying with the Eagles, that's cap. I'm surprised this question isn't about Mo Alley Cox with you making these questions.
Well, they're both kind of like, I think it's going to be a split kind of target share there. Yeah, it could be Mo Alley Cox too, but I think both of them are essentially going undrafted in most leagues. So
Rightfully so.
if you want one, go get them. But yeah, I'm not reaching on any of them anytime soon. All right, let's get into our bold takes. Favorite targets. Q, start us off. What do you got?
Kind of gave my spiel earlier. We said top 12 in that initial question. I'm going to say Wentz finishes top 10 and wins comeback player of the year. The odds are nice right now, but I think it's as long as he makes it to the playoffs, and I say they go 12 and however many games there are, what that would be losses, 5.
You just add 1 to the 4, Q. It's not rocket science.
It's my second year watching football. I think that's an automatic comeback player of the year, like because Dak's gonna finish like 8 and 9, and who else? Saquon. The Giants aren't that the greatest. Carson Wentz is the quarterback, so it's gonna be an offensive player, the easiest person to pick for a comeback player usually. So yeah, I think top 10, top 12 guaranteed, top 10 likely.
Likely. Bowl and spicy, Q, just like always. All right, you
I
guys.
can dig it.
What
All
do you
right.
got?
Of course, I have to talk about man's T.Y. Hilton. He will come back and he will finish in the top 30. I'm being reasonable. Top 30 isn't. It's not too
It's not a
bold.
reach. That's not
but
a reach.
It's. I think it's
Flex
likely.
option.
For starters, I want to say his health. He's been like you might think that he's like he gets injured a lot, but he really doesn't. He missed 11 games in 9 seasons. He's reliable. To end the season last year, in his last 6 games, he averaged 4.5 receptions, 72.5 yards, and 5 touchdowns. He started
solid. I
he
said
started
that,
going
yeah.
off at the end of the year. So yeah, I mean, I think he just had a little off year of Phillip Rivers. I don't think it's nothing to worry about too much. He's still TY. He's still good. He's going to come back. He's going to finish top 30.
Let's not call him by Eugene anymore because
Eugene
we were
Marquise.
getting to
Eugene
that
Marquise.
point. Him and AJ Green, we were getting to that
Pedro
point where we were just
Jeremiah.
they didn't deserve the nickname.
They're just the street names. You got to
Yeah.
earn that nickname.
I'm just scared to get hurt again by Ty. He hurt me bad last year.
He did hurt you bad, and thank you for making that sacrifice. But it's because he wasn't on my team.
Yeah, that's probably why. You're probably right.
I'm probably
All right,
right.
Matt. What do you got for us
All right.
for the Colts?
My favorite target. We talked about Jack Doyle. We hinted at this guy a little bit, but I'm going Mo Alley Cox. I know Wentz loves his tight ends. Cox is a couple years younger than Doyle. I'm sure he's going to show it this season with the athleticism. I'm sure Doyle, his health hasn't been the greatest, so that's going to take a toll on him. And Wentz loves his tight ends, especially in the red zone. So I see Mo Alley Cox having a pretty decent year this year. So I wouldn't be shy away from taking a dart throw at him late in drafts.
Yeah.
Backup tight end, that's a nice.
Yeah, it might take a couple weeks, and then people will realize that Cox is doing good with Wentz.
Yeah, I think he'll be a solid red zone target. I mean, he's huge. So Wentz
Ball
likes
player.
to throw to the tight end of the red zone as well. We obviously know that.
Yeah, you got the slander for it once.
Yeah, for too much.
Stop
throwing
throwing
to
it
the
to
tight end.
tight end.
But we shall see. All right, my bold take, favorite target, whatever you want to say. I'm taking Paris Campbell again as just a late round flyer at best. Obviously, there's a lot of risk involved with a guy who's played 9 games, like T-God's already mentioned. But he's just one of my favorite dart throws. And if he is able to get it together and stay healthy, he was super good in college. He was an early round draft pick. Paris Campbell showed a lot of signs when he was even playing in those few games that he had a couple of solid games where he can be a solid wide receiver. And this team, obviously, T.Y. Hilton is aging a little bit. If T.Y. isn't able to get back to that form that we saw, Paris Campbell could easily step in if he's able to stay healthy. So the number one question is health. You can get him for almost free in most drafts. I think he's worth a late round flyer in like a 12-team league.
Yeah, I have some hope in him.
Still got faith. Got to have
You
faith. He
love
was my
Sparrows
guy
Campbell.
last year. He was my guy last year, and he got hurt
He's-
again, and it really sucked. But I got to ride with him, ride or die.
All right.
All right.